Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar News channel. Today's headline is setting the entire dinar community on fire. The IMF and World Bank are now publicly confirming Iraq's readiness for a major currency revaluation setup. Yes, this could mean we are on the verge of the long-awaited RV. And now the big question on everyone's mind: is your 25,000 dinar note about to become the jackpot ticket of 2025? If you hold dinar, or are following Iraq's global economic journey, you'll want to stay with us through the very end. This isn't just hype, it's backed by serious developments, global confirmations, and economic upgrades that are finally reaching a turning point. What's happening now could affect currency holders, investors, businesses, and every Iraqi citizen. Let's break it all down in simple terms so you can fully understand the gravity of what's unfolding. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank have recently acknowledged that Iraq has completed nearly all economic, structural, and banking reforms required for international reintegration. In their most recent assessments, both institutions emphasized how Iraq has successfully stabilized inflation, boosted its foreign currency reserves, and modernized its banking infrastructure. These aren't small milestones, they're the very foundation needed before any currency revaluation RV can occur. For over a decade, discussions around the RV were based on speculation and political promises. But now, global institutions are stepping in with confirmations, not theory. They're saying Iraq is prepared, not just someday in the future, but soon. When these institutions speak, markets listen, and this has sparked renewed hope that the 25,000 dinar note many people hold may soon carry a much higher value than its current exchange rate. Now, what does an RV setup mean exactly? It doesn't mean Iraq will instantly announce a 3 euros in plage rate overnight, but it does suggest that a controlled and managed value increase is now in position to begin. The IMF is known for urging member countries to move in measured steps, especially when dealing with currency reform. That means Iraq is likely to adopt a strategy that starts with a moderate increase, stabilizes the market, then allows further appreciation based on performance. Think of it like a stair-step system. Not a rocket launch, but here's the real excitement. Once the first step happens, confidence grows, and so does value. Holders of 25k dinar notes could be looking at significant returns if Iraq initiates even a partial RV. And according to insiders, the technical setup, the global financial cooperation, and Iraq's own economic tools are all ready. One of the major reasons why this revaluation is getting serious backing is because Iraq is no longer the same economy it was a decade ago. It now holds over $100 billion in foreign currency reserves, significant gold reserves, and has built strong trade ties with neighboring countries and Asian powers. Iraq is no longer operating in survival mode. The country has digitized much of its financial system, modernized tax collection, and begun cracking down on corruption. These steps weren't just about internal reform. They were to meet the benchmarks laid out by the IMF and World Bank. And now, those organizations are saying Iraq qualifies. When these global lenders give the green light, it's because they believe the country is ready to support a stronger currency without crashing the economy or hurting. Another major factor supporting the RV theory is Iraq's deepening integration with international markets. Iraq is finalizing its long journey toward World Trade Organization. This isn't just paperwork. It means Iraq has agreed to follow strict global rules around trade, transparency, taxation, and fair competition. Once inside the WTO, Iraq must support a more open and stable exchange system. That's why many economists believe the revaluation is not only possible, but likely. Because Iraq will need a stronger, more predictable dinar to compete in the global trade arena. No serious country wants to trade with a partner whose currency fluctuates wildly or holds little purchasing power. So if Iraq is joining the world's biggest trade club, a more valuable and stable dinar will be part of the deal. So let's get back to the 25,000 dinar note that so many people are holding. at the current exchange rate of about 1,020. But if the RV begins, and Iraq pushes the rate up, even to $1 500 IQD, then your 25K note would be worth $50. And if Iraq eventually reaches historical levels, such as $1, while no one can promise a specific future rate, the fact that global institutions are now talking openly about Iraq's readiness is a sign that this is no longer just wishful thinking. It's a potential financial reality, and one that could transform lives, investments, and Iraq's position on the global economic map. Let's talk about Iraq's oil sector. Iraq is sitting on some of the largest oil reserves in the world, and production is growing. Oil exports continue to bring in billions each month, and Iraq is expanding pipeline deals and partnerships across Asia and Europe, with oil revenues soaring. Iraq's ability to support a stronger currency grows every day. More dollars flowing in means the Central Bank of Iraq has more tools to back a higher exchange rate. Combine that with rising gold holdings, and you have a financial base capable of supporting an RV. And the World Bank's latest report confirms that Iraq is not over-leveraged, meaning it's in a strong position to make monetary moves without facing debt disasters. A stronger dinar isn't just a dream, it's becoming an economic requirement. Inside the country, reforms have already changed how money flows. Iraq has worked hard to reduce dependency on cash and shift toward digital banking. Over 80% of government salaries are now paid electronically. Mobile wallets, bank transfers, and cross-border payment networks are being upgraded in real time. This isn't just modernization, it's essential for RV. You can't revalue a currency overnight. If people still hide money under mattresses, you need visibility, control, and traceability. That's what Iraq has been building, quietly, for the past few years. Now that the infrastructure is almost ready, a revaluation becomes easier to implement and manage. The goal is to create a system where people can trust their currency, use it with ease, and know its value will hold. The IMF has also praised Iraq for cracking down on black market currency dealers, which used to cause chaos in the market. Before these reforms, people often ignored the official rate and went to illegal channels that offered more competitive rates. This undermined the central bank and weakened trust in the dinar, but those days are changing. Government raids, new laws, and digital banking have made black market currency trading much harder. That's another green light for revaluation. When the street rate and the official rate start to align, it means the currency is finally gaining stability, and that's exactly what's happening now. And investors and global analysts are watching closely, because it's a sign that Iraq has the control and transparency needed for a real RV. Let's not ignore the psychological aspect either. A stronger dinar means more than money. It means national pride, renewed confidence, and global recognition. Iraq has spent decades trying to recover from war, sanctions, instability, and chaos. A revaluation is a symbol that those years are behind it, that the country has entered a new phase, one of growth, progress, and economic strength. It's a message to the world that Iraq is ready to be taken seriously. And when people begin seeing their salaries hold more power, their savings grow in value, and prices stabilize, that belief becomes real. The RV isn't just about numbers, it's about restoring faith in the nation's future. But the setup is the strongest we've ever seen. You have global institutions confirming reforms, you have reserves at record highs, you have oil revenue, digital banking, and new investment laws. You have Iraq preparing for WTO membership and finalizing bilateral trade agreement. All of these are ingredients for a currency that is currently undervalued and on the edge of rebalancing. The 25K dinar note in your hand may not change today, but the path is clearer than it has ever been. And if things continue this way, we may all wake up one day soon to very different exchange numbers. For those holding Iraqi dinar abroad, this is a moment to pay attention. The RV may not happen all at once, but signs suggest phased appreciation is very likely, and any upward move in value could unlock incredible returns. The 25,000 dinar note, long called a speculative asset, could soon be known as the ticket that paid off for those who wait. But this is more than speculation now. its economics, strategy, and preparation converging at a powerful moment, and that moment, according to the IMF and World Bank, is now closer than ever. In conclusion, if you've ever wondered whether the dinar could rise in value, if the rumors had any truth, or if the 25K note might one day mean something much bigger, then this is the time to stay alert. Iraq has laid the groundwork, the world is paying attention, and the dinar's future may be about to change forever. We'll be watching every step and bringing you updates as they happen.